singer-songwriter Kevin McCall, and I blew the hell out of that.
So I know Thug offered you the $25K to pay whatever Chris owes you. Will you accept?
Whoop-de-doo.
Look, bro.
Calm down, bro.
I'm on EBT's back, look.
We did content yesterday on the Chris Brown versus Kevin McCall situation, right? There's this beef, this long-standing beef, and it was reinvigorated within the spotlight after Kevin McCall got on a podcast and began to cry that now he has to get food stamps. Specifically, he has an EBT card as a Grammy Award-winning singer-songwriter.
I got an EBT card, my nigga. Like, what the fuck? I can't even get nothing. Bro, man. Y'all want to see me crying here, so y'all can think I'm a bro. That ain't fair, man.
Hey.
I'm on EBT, bro.
Hey.
That's why.
Man. Hey. Look, bro.
Calm down, bro. I'm on EBT's back, look.
Now, what started off as a conversation of how is it that we even got here, and also the importance of having community around you, quickly dovetailed into a discussion about long-term decision-making. And without the proper evidence, my conclusion is just even hearing a snippet of Kevin McCall talk, I can tell that he's made a lot of wrong decisions within his life, specifically when it comes to money and his finances. Forget the beef stuff, right? Forget the reactionary stuff of going back and forth. But just when it comes to receiving money and how it is that you keep that money, retain that money, or grow that money, he did absolutely none of those things. Once you take a step back and look at the situation, you could tell he got paid. He absolutely blew the bag with the decisions that he was making. And now after he lost everything, somehow it's Chris Brown's fault. Watching the success of Chris Brown, someone who you previously worked with, who is now your op while you are at the food stamp office, is enough to break any man, but we must hold him accountable for the decisions that he's made. Now, I have a clip in here which goes into more detail of this, but first, let's go over Chris Brown's newest response to the situation. I grabbed this over Twitter. It looks like it comes from his Instagram, and you'll see here he put a picture. Looks like it's a carousel. And within it, he puts the Deuces song, and he made sure he chose the appropriate one to have Kevin McCall's name on it. And then he simply just states, Chris Brown, ladies and gentlemen, I dare not judge a man in how he chooses to kill an ant with a sledgehammer when that ant accuses him of being a light-skinned gay man. And somehow Young Thug made it into the back and forth. He posted, Kevin McCall, hit me. I'll give you the $25,000 that you need. And I know Chris will give it to you also, bro. He a real one. N-words is busy sometimes, brother, again, without doing the proper research into their long-standing feud. And then in hilarious retraction fashion, then posting, sorry, Mick, LOL, ain't know this was all happening, kid, with the goofy faced emoji. Oh, Young Thug taking back his offer to Kevin McCall.
So I know Chris kind of threw a little jab. You know, Chris Brown, Chris Breezy, kind of threw a jab. You know, saying what's funnier, a troll or a broke one? Ouch. You know, when you saw that or heard about that, what went through your mind? I mean...
What went through my mind? All that bullshit's for the birds, and you ain't nothing but a vulture. That's what went through my mind.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, why does Chris owe you the $25K? I guess that's what everyone's asking right now.
I didn't even know. That's why I sold my catalog, you know, when I was going to prison and stuff. I thought it'd give me some money to see my daughters. It helped me from going to prison. It still didn't work. I still did 3 years. But I owe him, it says I owe him 4 songs. Even though I recouped off the first song, Deuces, they said I still have to owe the songs. I got all the songs done, and now they're saying Chris has to sign off. And I have all the emails, so if somebody's lying on my brother, man, I apologize. I don't really apologize about nothing. You better tell them to apologize, brother. But all that thinking people is too rich to talk to people just because I sleep on my granny couch, I'm still a man first.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. I know. So I know Thug offered you the $25K to pay whatever Chris owes you. Will you accept?
Whoop-de-doo. No, I'm just playing like, I mean... I don't really want no charity. That was a great gesture. Yeah. I never met Thug, so I would have loved if he really wanted to reach out. He could have DM'd me and gave me his number, and I did all the public stuff, but I accept the gesture. But if you want to work, I'm cool with working. You know what I'm saying? I got some fire for you. We both Leos.
That would be
So you
cool.
already know that line, and you know what time it is. So I'm a Thugger fan, but yeah, I don't want nobody money. I already earned the 25K. So CB, run that, or whoever you up under, had him run that. And matter of fact, have him run it. I'm singer-songwriter Kevin McCall, and I blew the hell out of that.
Kevin McCall did this interview with BET like 6 or 7 years ago where he's admitting that he blew the bag. I also meant to say this in yesterday's video. One of the other red flags is that he said he got a $250,000 check and then he gave $50,000 to his mama to buy a house. 10 stars for generosity, but also 0 stars for intelligence. You must secure your financial foundation first, which means that you need years of living expenses, especially for an industry like music, which goes up, down, and around the corner like a roller coaster, and as well as ensure all of your debts are paid off, including the debt to the company that is giving you these damn advances. And that $250 was never $250 because Uncle Sam need his money, and that 30 to 35% just lop that off of the top of the $250. This is why if the plane's going down, you put on your oxygen mask first. Before you start putting on anyone else, you must secure yourself first before your generosity reaches others. Quick emergency meeting. I was recently searching for my name online and found way too much personal information, which brought me down this weird rabbit hole of how that could have happened, and found out that there's companies out there called data brokers that will sell your data to marketers, scammers, and even stalkers. And it's a nasty, disgusting feeling knowing that there's bad actors out there selling my information, selling your information for profit. But that's why I'm recommending today's sponsor, Aura. Now, I use Aura to automatically remove my information from these sites and keep my information off. But they do other things as well, such as bank fraud and identity theft alerts, VPN access. But guys, utilize my link down in the description box down below for a 14-day trial. At least see if you've been compromised. Privacy is king in this day and age, and you should know if your information is out there. So again, utilize my link, aura.com/MTR, in the description box down below to try 2 weeks free. That's way more than enough time to see if your personal data has been exposed. Go now.
This talent that I like to do naturally and get paid for it. Also, I met Chris Brown through my frat brother who was a crumb dancer named Big Miho. At the time, it took like 2 years to really actually get music done because I was just a guy hanging in the background, just kind of trying to make the vibe come together. I just remember finally actually doing a song with Chris Brown after hanging around him for like a whole year and not doing a song. Finally got some work done, so I was like, this is it. It's actually gonna work for me. Told the people at my job, they didn't believe me. So I stopped showing up to work. Once I finally made an actual song with a legit artist, I was like, this is it. I don't gotta work at this tax company. I don't gotta work at Abercrombie. I was tired of sleeping on my mom's couch. I remember just going in and letting my uncle know, and he was like, it's cool. He supported everything. I let him know at Abercrombie, you know, I'm finna go pursue my career, this and that. And they was like, you'll be back, Kev. Like, we don't believe, they just didn't believe me. They really thought it was a joke. Like, as soon as it came on 106 in Park, you know where I went. I had to go right back to the mall and say, how y'all doing? Yeah, it's me. Chris Brown called me and like, look, this song is going real good. We about to do the video. I only got a check for $10,000 at that time. So you know what I did with that? I spent that up in no day. Tried to get a whip, some dumb shit. But when I finally got a check from Deuces that was over 6 figures, I opened that mug up. It was like, I got the mail like I always used to. I used to write songs in my grandmother's driveway. I'm sitting in my auntie's Jaguar because I didn't have my own car at the time. And so since I used to be pulling up with the celebrities, the best I could do was my supposed rich auntie at the time. She was a nurse. I was in her car. So got the check, opened it with my cousin, and I ain't never seen nothing over $10,000 in my life. So when I saw 100 and something thousand, I'm like, I looked at my cousin, I just closed it because I'm like, what am I gonna do? I'm in the hood, I need to start hiding this shit. Immediately, I got scared. I didn't even get happy. I'm like, where I'm gonna put this shit? $100,000, what do I do? Like, and I didn't tell nobody. I kept it a secret because honestly, I had never seen that much money, didn't know what to do with it, didn't know where to start. The most I had ever paid for rent at the time was like $300 when I was at Washington State. So I couldn't even fathom really before that. It took me almost losing my family to realize, okay, something's not right. I had a 4-bedroom house in Woodland Hills, and my child's mom at the time had to pay the rent. I'm thinking I'm broke, not knowing I got checks coming from here, here, on this tax ID number, you know, all these things that I'm more familiar with now. And if I knew them then, I probably could have saved my family, but I knew I blew the bag when I had to move back into my parents' house for like a week. Just that whole time period was the most embarrassing time, a very difficult time. And it was a time where I really had like a mental breakdown, like under all the pressure. And it was really funny to me when people talk about supporting people in mental health issues and things of that nature. And it's like, even though I exhibited those behaviors, people never really reached out to try to help. I was on Shade Room and all of my business was out in this Front Street. It made it even harder on my mental and I almost crumbled to the pressure. And then I don't know what it was. One of them royalty checks came in.
Look at that. So you're beginning to see a power here, right? There's an expectation of folks reaching out to him to check on him. Meanwhile, he says he got a $100,000 check, but then a couple of months later, because he doesn't understand money, because he wasn't putting money in correct places, and he was prioritizing the bling in his chains. He was prioritizing the horsepower in his cars over creating something repeatable, sustainable, right, within that time. The stories that we used to hear, and these were mostly like in the 80s and the 90s of these athletes going completely broke or becoming poor. You guys gotta understand, that's before the internet, right? There is little to no excuse, let's say the year 2000 and onward, to not try to look for resources in order to better your position. Just think about how different of a position that he would be in if he took a subset of that cash, invested it into an investment account, opened up a stock portfolio and invested it, went in on real estate, put down money on his own catalog, or even intelligently invested it within himself in order to increase his chances of striking it big again. He made millions and blew it. Let's keep going.
Another little 10,000 or something just to get me back started. I got me an apartment, then I lost that apartment. I was back on my grandmother's couch again. And that's when I thought it was really over. I had to really sit back and say, okay, well, where's the money coming from? Like, how do I get paid? What is this this quarterly thing? Like, how do I manage that to where I could survive? How do I get health care? I have a toothache and I need to go get work done. How do I get this stuff done? So I just started learning how to take care of yourself. When you come from being a football player or a jock, as they say, you get addicted to attention.
This is really what it is.
You get a high off of that fan and that crowd, cheering for you and stuff. So then once you leave that, you start chasing that high. Once you get it in music, once you get your first hit, why do you think they call it a first hit? It's like that first hit. You get addicted. What's going on with me now is I'm really focused on my family and my children.
Okay. Even if Young Thug reached back out to him and gave him that $25,000 on the low, it's not until you can fix your understanding, which is only fixed by your absorption of information of how the world works, he gonna lose that $25,000 again. One of the things that he said in there that was important is that he said that once he got the money, he was scared of it. He obviously wasn't scared of spending it, but he was scared of the influx of money. He didn't know what accounts were happening, what was going in, what was going out, where things were coming from. And here's the thing, is that I hear this far too often, is that no. You cannot be scared of that number, a larger number than that, even a smaller number than that. For your fear of it is not enabling you to learn how to use it. Money is just a tool at the end of the day. If you don't know how to use a hammer and someone gives it over to you, then how are you ever going to put the nail into the damn wood? You're just going to be fearful of the hammer? All it is a tool. And unless you educate yourself of how to best utilize that tool, including what are the risks of not utilizing that tool correctly, what are the risks or the long-term ramifications of not figuring this thing out on time, well, then you might be 40 years old crying on a couch where your op can watch it and laugh at you.
No, like, guys, come on, seriously. This guy sold his catalog for $500K, right? But he only made $250K. And out of that $250K, he bought his mama house for $50K. I don't think you need to be a mathematician to realize that this is just poor money management.
I forgot that of the $500K, he just got $250. I forgot because he had to pay everybody off, taxes, right? That's not good money management. She's right.
What does Chris Brown have to do with anything at that point? You've had 10 years to build a name for yourself. You've had 10 years to work with other people in the industry. Why is nobody working with you? Why are you still in this situation? Why are you on EBT? Where is the self-reflection, Kevin McCall? I am so confused right now, guys. Like, huh? He is garnering no sympathy from me.
When we talk about this, we have to talk about accountability. Listen, for my G's out there, All right. We talk about accountability when it refers to the modern women from these dating relationship perspectives, but we also need to talk about accountability when it comes to our own learning of how this planet works, how the economy works. Don't you dare, any of you, talk about that you are fearful of money or fearful of learning. You should be like a damn sponge that is continuously learning. You never stop learning. There's somewhere always to go. There's something always more to learn in order to increase your value to this world. That's what life is about. It's a constant pursuit of purpose within oneself that you then can transition into a value on this world. And it's a cycle. And there's no excuses. We ain't gonna feel sorry for you, especially as a guy. And there's less chance or ability to dig yourself up out the grave than a woman. If we all know that. I mean, shit, his spending was so crazy that BET did a whole expose on his spending when he had it. And it's interesting because within BET, they make light of this I blew a bag. I mean, you guys saw it like in the title of the videos that were coming. I blew a bag. Like, and it's like something they got rapper face after rapper face. That shit is not cool. That shit is never cool. Like, this shit that they stand up within the culture is so insane to me. It's so crazy. And it's like a cool thing associated with these mainstream narratives. Why you guys think that YouTube and podcasts, because you're finally getting the texture, not the polish that they make you believe in this shit. But you get the texture. You get to watch him cry on a couch talking about an EBT food stamp. That's the texture. That's what we need to see. We need to see the reality of what it looks like of you not learning this shit, not being responsible for your spending.
This Kevin McCall situation reminds me that in my Sagittarius nature, I am never waiting for anybody to do a damn thing for me.
I am so sorry. I didn't know she was going to bring up the star circle spin signs. All right. That already makes me not want to hear what she has to say, but we'll give her a quick second.
I will ask for help if I really need it, sparingly. I will take somebody's offer if I feel it's genuine, sparingly. But I will fight for my life to get on my 1-2. We all know what it is to have your back kicked in, to have opportunities and lose them, have situations where you feel like the world is against you. And it sucks. I'm not even gonna hold you. It sucks. And I'm sure for him, seeing and getting a taste of fame and being right there, and then being on EBT, which the majority of the world either has been or is on, probably up until November 1st. But I know what it's like to have a little change, nothing too crazy. Something to be able to pay my bills, not have to worry about when things are going to get paid, and then go completely unemployed for multiple months, trying to figure out how it is that I'm going to make ends meet. But the one expectation that I do not have is that somebody else is going to do it for me. Somebody else is going to get me out of the situation. Somebody else is going to fight harder for me than I fight for my damn self. Because I'm sure in the entertainment industry, just like most industries, there are people that'll sell you a dream just to get what they want out of you, and then they'll discard you. Not saying that happened in his situation, but I'm sure something similar. But at some point, you have to be willing to fight like hell for yourself.
Okay. The thing is, you know what she made me actually think of is that, you know, this is not the best of job markets, and a lot of people are struggling out there. And, you know, which I have less sympathy for a position where you had millions. You had millions and then you blew it. So a lot of people are looking at this and they see the tears and they can feel a degree of sympathy, if not empathy, for the things that he's saying until you investigate it and you see content of him blowing a bag because you had it at a point. There's a lot of people out there that for whatever, right? They choose to go the nonprofit route, right? They have a purpose in something that just doesn't garner a lot of money, right? They never touch that amount of money. But a lot of those people they're not getting food stamps. Well, anyway, I don't know Kevin McCall personally. All I can do is take a look at the information put in front of me as a learning lesson, right? As a testament to good decision making and as well as providing solutions to the next crop, right? The next generation of men that are trying to figure it out. And you must understand that there is no excuses that you can leverage later on in life. You must take it upon yourself to learn for yourself. This is why I created the MT Army, as to provide an educational space of financial education, of manhood, masculinity, identifying your purpose, because I really believe that education is what separates the achievers and the mediocre performers, for lack of a better term. And without those keys to life, or having someone within your life to drop you the tools of the game, So you at least have a great foundation. You're going to make mistakes. Everybody going to make mistakes, but you at least need a great foundation in decision making so that you can live a fulfilled and successful life. Anyway, drop me your questions, comments, concerns down up in the comment box down below. I thought that it was appropriate to go for a round 2 within this discussion as we continue to promote learning and education and its importance. All right. Light up them comments down below. Happy that you guys spent the time with me here today. I love you guys. I swear I do. And I'll see you soon. Until next time. Peace.
So, without further ado, MTR, cut through the BS like we in charge. No cap with the rappers like steel bars. I'm packing and rapping like here we are. Mediocre tutorial reviews. Like, comment, share my views. Come up and I paid my dues. Big step in my black way shoes. MTR, he break it down, yeah, it's MTR. Check out the sound with his MTR. No one put it down like it's MTR.